hundreds of $1,000s worth of services to us every year, have to resort to these types of activities. And as a result of that activity, they're going to be able to support 5,000 meals, which is great. So it's a good time. Nice to be able to attend and applaud their efforts again. Dan O'Leary, no relation, does a wonderful job down there at Mystic Valley Elder Services. And again, they're a vital component to the services provided to our community. So just happy to be able to go. That's it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Prisco?
Yes, again this year, Narissa is doing their shovel a vet. So if you're a vet in town and we ever get any snow, please reach out to Erica Hanson in the Narissa office, the Youth Services office, and I'm sure they'll be right up and take care of you. And I give them a lot of credit, and the kids, for volunteering their time to do that. To do that, it's a wonderful thing. Susan Magner sent out a message. Not sure if some of you have received it yet, but she would like to get the message out as much as possible. On Wednesday, February 1st, Lieutenant Ben Hodgkins is from the United States Marine Corps, is coming home from Afghanistan, and there's going to be a welcoming home procession going on the Common along Park Street. The time hasn't been set yet, but you can check her out on Facebook, and we're going to try to get the message, I think, through our website as well. So please put that in your calendar, February 1st.
Was that an email?
It was an email.
Sent an email late this afternoon.
This afternoon. Okay.
Yeah.
We can hopefully tie that in with the publications from Patch, and transcript would be great for the February 1st timeframe. The last thing is I was speaking with Mary Ann over in the tax collector's office, and one of the things I think we should try to do, Greg, unless you maybe have an idea, is I was talking to her about the online paying your taxes online. What a great system. I use it myself. It's a great way. You go in, use the system, follow the steps. You can use your checking account, your savings account, or you can even use a credit card, doing it through the North Reading website. And the process just goes so much smoother. It's very efficient. It makes the process go very quick and easy. And I'd like to advocate more people to try to use that online service. I'm not sure if you have any ideas on how we get the word out. I think some people just don't even know it exists. I know you go to the North Reading website, you'll see pay taxes online. You can do your water bill there, you can do your trash bill there, you can do your real estate tax there, and personal property tax there as well. It's a great service, great system. I encourage people to do that. I know a lot of people use their own banking online.
Exactly.
And when those checks come in and there's not a stub attached to them, the process, it becomes a little more lengthy, and the potential is there for maybe a miscue or a misprocessing. But if you use the North Reading online system, that goes away. It's automatic. It goes through. You get actually an email confirmation sent to you. And so I want to try to encourage people to go into that site. At least try it at least once to see what you think.
I can't emphasize enough the fact that the bills that come in through the banking or the checks that come in through the banking system fail to include identifier, parcel numbers, bill numbers.
There's no memo. If they don't even at least put a memo directing where it goes, it's hard.
Staff actually spends a lot more time
They do.
trying to track these bills down.
I'd go one step further, Mike.
Please.
And being a user of the system, one of the things you can also do in the process is you can schedule those bills to be paid. So in other words, when you get your bill, you can actually go on the website, determine when to pay them, and then forget about it.
Right.
So you don't have to, put the bill aside if you don't want to wait till the end of the month or whenever, close to when it's due to pay it. You can actually go through the process the day you get the bill, while it's fresh in your mind, and schedule that bill to be subtracted from your bank account on a specific date.
Just like the IRS.
Just like the IRS.
Like the
You do that with your trash bill now that you've missed a couple?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, she
solved
actually-
my trash bill problem.
She wanted me to encourage you, Mr. Delaney, to pay your taxes. Of all of them, please.
I haven't appeared on any list yet that
Mike-
you've seen, have you? Have I?
Mike, if I just may expand on this issue, I have a curious question on this, because I do use the system, but sometimes people are late, and if they're late, they can't use it. They have to come in.
That's correct.
Is
Yep,
that
that's
is there a reason for that policy? Or
Yeah,
can
because
punishment?
now
There's
there's
fees attached to it.
now there's
No, I
fees
understand
and-
that.
but they don't have a bill that tells them that.
The
Till they get
system,
their next one.
the system is, basically being done through an outside service. They don't have the facilities to calculate the interest rate due on a specific date and everything else. I think that there's basically, for a majority of the people, it's a good system. There are
Yeah,
some
it is.
people
It's a
that are
great
still gonna
system.
come into town hall on the day the bill's
That's
due
fine,
and
too.
pay. But I would encourage those that haven't ventured into it and have a checking account that they can use this and get it set up and implement it in just a few minutes and pay your bills on any schedule you choose up to the due date.
Up to the due date.
Up to the due date.
And for those of you who use your online banking through your own bank, that's okay, you can do that, but you need to use the memo section to at least put some notes in there, so
Right.
they
Put
know how to
bill
process.
number.
I think what's
But the bill
confusing-
number is important.
I think what's confusing is that there's a bill number, there's
And
an account number.
one, yeah.
I think it's difficult, people don't know what to put in. So maybe there could be some insert in the bills that go out directing people what information they need to include if they do it on their online banking. Is it the bill number? Is it the
Identify.
map and parcel number? Is it the account number? I think you have three of those.
It's
on your
two.
bills. Oh, two.
One is, some of the bills require the bill number, and I think one bill requires the account number.
Maybe
And
there's
th-
a little
and then there's-
insert.
Do you put the letter before the number? Sometimes you don't do that.
Time that Mrs. Castro asked the question.
No, I just wanted to say, to your point, when the town census just came, there were two inserts that were on colored piece of paper that drew your attention to it. I would just recommend that, to promote it, that you do something similar, maybe one or two times, and get their attention.
Good thought. Thank you. Anything else,
And
Mr.
just one more
Prisco?
thing for Jeff.
That's all you had. Your time's
No,
up.
I just remembered one thing. Your information technology group, there was a person you guys, I believe, he got sworn in for your group, Bill Cushing Candelaro?
Right?
Did he get, we did approve him, right? And he did get sworn in?
I've approved
I don't
him.
know if he's,
I've approved
yeah,
him, he's done an
he
appointment
approves.
slip, and I've actually communicated with him.
Okay, good.
It's not
All
our
good?
committee,
Yep,
it's
we're all done
Greg's
now.
committee.
Oh, okay, I thought
Done.
Jeff was the.
He's
liaison.
no, I'm the liaison, but he
He's the
he
appointee.
does the
Sorry.
All done,
appointments.
we've already
Thank you.
communicated to him.
I just wanted to tell him I could pass it along.
Okay,
I did
Mr.
that.
Delaney?
Nice job. You closed a little bit. I appreciate that. Just two things. I know we had an ambitious agenda this evening, but I don't want to lose sight of the trash exemption. Mr. Valiakonis, thought we were going to address it tonight, but I'm sure it got pushed.
Yeah,
to
it
the
got
bottom of
pushed
the
off
list.
because of the.
But if we can address that at our next meeting. The only other item I had is that, maybe Mary Prenny's telling me something, but I received the most recent edition of the Senior Center newsletter, Meeting House Echoes. I think she sends it to all the board members. But in addition to all the information that's in the newsletter, in this quarterly edition, there was a letter and a form from Sergeant Thibodeau from the North Reading Police Department. The form itself is a 911 disability indicator form, and I know this newsletter went to all our seniors, but I think this is important, not for only our seniors, but every household that you have a disabled person in the household. I encourage you to go to the police department and get this form and complete it. What it allows you to do is to complete the form, submit it to the police department, and then, God forbid, if you ever have an emergency in your house and you're calling 911 in North Reading, it'll automatically alert the police department if you have someone that's disabled in your home, on life support, hearing impaired, blind, what have you. I think this will be very valuable, not only to you, if God forbid you'd have to call the police department, but police department and fire department to have this information when they arrive at your home. So I encourage you, go to the police department, or possibly the senior center may have some additional forms, but I think it's a worthwhile form to have completed if you have a person with a disability in your home. That's all I have.
Thank you. Jeff?
Yes. I'm going to echo what Mike said about Lieutenant Ben Hodgkins. I've been speaking with his mother, Bren, on and off, knowing that Ben was out in Afghanistan. So if, I think he's coming home on the 1st of February, is that what you said?
Yes,
Mike?
yeah,
Right.
that's what she is putting on.
1st of February. We never know what time because, well, the planes are planes and military is the military. But he has served our country very well, and if you can find the time to come out and greet him, I'm sure that would make him feel at home. Also, the you can now, it's election time now, and we have something that's very important to me. We talk about volunteerism. Volunteerism is very important in this town. It's important to our community. I was at the MMA meeting, and I was speaking to two young ladies who were counselors at large or something like that for their respective towns. And when I told them I was a selectman, they went, well, what's that? Then when I told them I don't get paid, they were like astonished. So
What do you mean you don't get paid?
we don't get paid. You might, Mike, but I don't. So I think the volunteerism in this community is fantastic, but we need more people to volunteer. You know, we have the selectmen, 2 selectmen are up, me and Steve are up, but I understand Joe Fode pulled papers and Joe Vino pulled papers, and I think that's fantastic. Personally, I'd like to see more. John Murphy pulled papers to be the moderator. I just would like people to look at their community and realize there is a lot of gratification sitting here at this table. It's very yes, it's very gratifying. Knowing that you could do something positive for the community is very rewarding. It's not very profitable, but it's very rewarding. We have 2 school committee openings and 2 community planning commission openings and 1 housing authority. I say this because I want people to get involved in the community. It's I don't care if we have 10 people running for selectmen. I just want people to come forward and become a part of this town. It's not easy, but it is a wonderful experience. So soliciting everybody out there, either volunteer for a committee or run for an office, it is very gratifying. So, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Jeff. I attended actually sat in for Sean at the public school building committee presentation to the town on the school project, and listened to a number of the questions that came from the audience. And there are a number of those kinds of questions, and I've suggested to people that were at that meeting to kind of write down what they heard, because some of the questions really need to have good answers. And although there were a lot of good answers for a lot of the questions, there were a few that kind of left people thinking a little bit, and those are the things that raise questions about a project. And so I think that if you have a question that you don't think has been answered or even asked, I think those need to be collected and make sure that the people that are going to be at town meeting making the presentation, which is the building committee, you can feed that back to Sean, he's on our board, or any member of the building committee, so that they make sure that the appropriate people on the committee or town finance committee and board of selectmen are prepared to answer those kinds of questions. The public certainly deserves good answers. One question that came up that hadn't, this is the kinds of things that came up out of that. Someone asked a question, or it came up to my attention, the INET, which is the fiber optics that goes through the town. Well, this isn't necessarily a school building committee issue, but the INET terminates at the high school, and Verizon and Comcast pick up the broadcast at that location. So removal of the high school means that there's some changes that have to be made downstream, albeit. And I think that the building